Fine and
Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
there once was a podcast in the great internet of internets. It was called Fine and Dandy. Muy influential podcast. You have to remember, folks, where there's a podcast, there's a Fine and Dandy.
All right, we're back. We're ready now. Back like we never left. It's fucking. I'm ready, dude. Let's go. You know what, dude? Made it all the way out here. Glad to be here. Dressed up as my son's father today. My son meaning my cat that I have, not my actual. I'm not. I don't have an actual. I mean, it's
Yeah,
my
we're
son.
trying to teach Jelly how to be nice around humans because he gets a little demon time sometimes.
Nah, he loves me.
So this is why Daniel decided to dress up as his dada,
Nah,
and
it's not why. He loves me.
he's purring, but you can't hear it.
I just dressed up 'cause I thought he would love to see
His
me
dada.
dressed up as his dad. Yeah. He just doesn't like Josh. I mean, as you can see if you look at him, just look at him. You can see why I'm a cat. He's like, fuck that guy.
It's me. I'm here now. I care now.
I care now.
It's me. Water tea. I care now.
And introducing Doofles. Let's fucking go. Doofles.
Doofels, we're talking to you, bro. Doofels. All right, he's shy. It's okay. Maybe next episode
Dude, he'll talk one of these. He's gonna come alive one of these days.
he'll be back.
Dude, any animators out there, please.
Just fucking animate
Just
a
comes
mouth on him.
or he just comes alive. Bro. That shit would be.
Have Doofels on the
Hey,
podcast.
he's like, it's me, Doofles. Dude, I would literally lose my shit. That'd probably. Honestly, that would be a highlight in my career of life. I don't give a fuck. Just someone paying, like, if could possibly be able to do that. I know it would cost a lot of money. Like, even like a minute's worth of animation costs a fuck ton. But,
Yeah.
but just getting them.
On a more serious note, guys, Doofles doesn't want to talk about this. That's probably why he's shy. And we don't really want to even get into this, but we feel we have a responsibility to our viewers to let them know how we think and let them know how our thought processes collide and also come together.
Like how you got real sentimental on that. You feel like it's I felt like that was almost like one of those really bad.
Well, I'm glad to know that if anything you say starts with really bad, it's probably not going to be a nice compliment.
You know, like the videos of all the celebrities who are like, I take responsibility.
I didn't say I take
Dude.
responsibility. I'm saying I feel like we have a responsibility to make.
No, you're right. But it was funny. It made me think of that.
Yes.
Okay, before we dive in, though, it is a serious note. He's 100% right. It also made me, Casey Fry just did a recent video of that, too. He's like, all right, now just give me, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, he's, like, talking to, like, as if there's directors, like, what's my motive? Like, whatever. He's like, all right. See, I take responsibility. All right, was that good? Did you get that?
I mean,
That
I
shit had me
think
dead.
that there's a point where you can make a joke about things, and there's a point where comedy is necessary. But I think you got to be real careful in sensitive situations like the ones that we're in.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll say this. Like,
And I'm not saying you. I'm saying like me specifically I wanted to get a little sentimental and serious because I know we usually have a silly goose time in this
Yeah.
studio. So yeah, here we are talking about some shit we wish we didn't have to.
yeah.
Talking about some shit that we wish we never had to. Cause
I feel like when we talk about politics or anything like that, it's not usually about the political aspects of it.
yeah, and the fact that a war or bombings or fucking invasions and things like that have to do with politics is honestly silly to me. It all comes down to money. It all comes down to resources. It all comes down to power.
Yeah.
And when you talk about politics and you have a understanding that those things go hand in hand with politics, it almost makes you question what politics really are, what they do for us, what their purpose is. Because we all live in a place where we feel as if we have freedoms and we feel as if things go a certain way because of this, and there are rules to society, so if you follow them you'll have a good life, but if you don't then you might not. And we all feel like life should be fair, but we all have an understanding that it's not. It's difficult for me to see an idea of like voting, and I'm not saying I'm not gonna vote. What I'm saying is it's sad that we have to lead these huge, impactful conversations down to representation and thought process of groupthink and shit like that. It's tough because the age of the internet has only increased that ability for someone like Donald Trump or Joe Biden to get to the position of representing an entire country that neither one of those dudes give a fuck about.
It's so like Ram Dass once said, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so instead I changed myself.
Yeah.
But the reason I say that is 'cause it's in a world that seems so just like sad.
Yeah.
Not even sad, just there's a lot of turmoil going on in the world. You know, I will say, you know, living in America, we are blessed. I will also say that just because other countries have it worse, we should not denounce our own, or not focus on our own problems that we have here. You know,
Yeah.
we should still recognize what we could work on here. But what I'm saying with
I
that
think
is,
the worst argument for war is the thought process of saying like, well, they would do it to us, so we got to do it first, or well, they would take our land if they had the opportunity, so we should take theirs, and so they would throw our government if they could, so we should overthrow theirs. And it's kind of like that scene in Rick and Morty where Morty's just going back to all these places, like before he has to refill the portal gun. He's going back to all these places where there's these disasters going on. They're like, it's so crazy. This wasn't happening, right? This started right after Rick left, and we never saw him again. Thank you so much, Morty, for coming back to help. It's like, yeah, like you might get what you want and then leave, but relatively, like as soon as you do that, you're leaving behind it all the issues that you caused, and you're not worried about fixing them, and that leads to a world at war with either themselves in a power vacuum, or in the situation that we're looking at right now with other people, where you just think that we're bigger than them, we're stronger than them, so we're taking them no matter what. That's honestly disgusting that we have to live in this reality, because it's just so ignorant.
I'm saying it's even, yeah, I say it's even beyond that. I was going more towards the line of even if you did want to change the world, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of like right now, we all come together, we protest war, right?
Yeah.
It's not much we could really do as people.
No,
I hate to say it. I mean, you can make a change. You could definitely like try your best to like make an impact on the world, or make an impact on the person next to you, your loved ones, whatever the case may be. But in situations, we could protest all we want. You know what I mean? And even then, we could catch a bomb straight to any of our towns here in America. We haven't caught one yet, thankfully, luckily, and we're not even worried about like, oh, they wouldn't attack us right now. You know what I mean? We don't know that though.
We sit in this this thought of safety net. It's not even a real safety net. It's just a thought of one. It's like they wouldn't do that because they would know that we would bomb them 10 times harder. It's like, okay. And then they bomb you 10 times harder, and then you bomb them 10 times harder, and then they bomb you 10 times harder, and until someone's not alive anymore. Until someone's been absolutely decimated, and the whole world has to watch this fucking decimation of an entire race of people.
It's just a bunch of fucking
insane
big babies waving their dicks around for what?
For what? It's a briefcase being shown off as glory. You will respect me because I can end New York. It's like, wait, what?
It's like,
how did we get here?
It's like, why do you need Ukraine?
Huh?
Like
Why did Russia
I
need
know why. Yeah,
Ukraine?
it's like resources and
Yeah,
also
I mean
to
they're
take
in
back
top
the
five
Soviet
or
Union or
I think
whatever.
they're the top 10 of like most of the world's like main resources.
And then like restoring the USSR or whatever, the Soviet Union, whatever the
Yeah.
case. It's like, bro, I mean, just work out deals like the rest of the world.
No,
I
this
mean, I
is
don't know if it's
literally
not
like
that
a-
easy, of course. I know it.
This is literally a storyline from some fucking Call of Duty game that is poorly produced and not well thought out.
And it just sucks because, I mean, the fact of the matter is no one knows what's going on right now. And the thing is, when I try to
True.
talk about it, I'm like, just like, I mean, I see this casual conversation. I know it's kind of like a touchy subject, but I see this casual conversation because it's like, this involves me and in a sense of, shit, what do you think's going to happen next?
I mean, to be fair, in my opinion, most of the things that are touchy conversations should be talked about. Like people tell you not to bring up politics at a party, or people not tell you not to bring up religion, or people tell you not to bring up this, and it's like, yeah, it might cause a fucking argument, but do you not think that I like want to know what the fuck is going on? Like, should I be hiding my own opinions and thoughts and questions just because I believe this or I am into this or I side with this party or whatever the fuck? It's like, why can we not just have a conversation with people that have opposing beliefs, opposing thoughts, and opposing situations just to get a prospect of their perspective? At least to understand, like, you know what? I don't believe what you believe, but it's crazy that there is a human being, which is the same thing that I am, that has a brain that works in the same way that mine does, that believes a completely opposite opinion than I do. Why is that not acceptable? Why is it not acceptable for people to see each other as perspectives?
I know, like this is it's on topic, but it's off topic. It's an off topic example, but it plays into what you're saying. It just blew my mind. So I was talking to a friend yesterday. Actually, they were telling me about their roommate in college and how her parents basically like paid for everything, like all of her schooling. They went to Texas State, all of the schooling, everything, and she would just be. So and like my friend was working like full hour, like 40 hours basically a week, right? While also trying to juggle nursing school at college, which is difficult. It's a lot of classes, a lot of homework.
Yeah.
On top of working, it's stressful. And then she would come home and she'd be like, "Can you believe that my parents won't pay for my parking?" Like she doesn't have to pay for anything. And like all her parents would make her do, honestly, would go to church once a week, and she would complain like, "Can you believe my parents would making me go to church once a week, but they're paying for literally everything?" And she's like, "I mean, I guess I kind of understand like why I have to pay for my alcohol and my food, but like." And then it made me think. I'm like, I know everyone says everyone faces their own share of problems.
Yeah.
That is not a real problem.
I mean, like, it's kind of, I heard Wiz Khalifa say this on Joe Rogan's podcast when he was a guest last time. He said something like, I was writing a song last night in the studio, and the only thing that was wrong for the whole time that I was trying to write that song was there was a bitch's ass right in my face and all on my arm. And I'm trying to write, and this ass is just shaking all on my face and all on my arm. And I told myself, these are my problems. Damn, I'm living good. You know? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I mean, relatively, everyone does face their share of problems. But whether or not you're willing to appreciate the good things in your life and the standing that you have in your problems, in your mess, in your dirt, whether you're willing to clean that shit up by yourself or you need assistance cleaning that shit up, whether or not you're acknowledging that, whenever you are able to acknowledge where you stand, whenever you're able to say, this problem is stressing me out right now, but I know that I got it better. It's like that's kind of the test of true character, because a lot of people do get caught in that spot of like, I can't believe they wouldn't pay for my alcohol. Bitch. Bitch, get a job.
That's what I'm saying. And the parking pass was like 1 week's worth of work.
Yeah.
Go get a job.
I'm not gonna lie, those parking passes are expensive because you're like, I don't want to spend this much money on a goddamn parking spot,
Yeah, it
motherfucker. Shouldn't be that expensive. But it's relatively, like, in the long run, not gonna break your bank.
Well, yeah, especially if your parents are paying for literally everything else.
Yeah,
Dude,
okay, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And that's the kind of the test of like true characters, like whether or not you're willing to appreciate the things that you do have. Because everyone has issues. It's kind of the idea of like complaining at a serving job. It's like,
Yeah.
bitch, everybody here gets paid $2.13. Your complaints are my complaints. My complaints are your complaints. This shit sucks. It's good at times. It's nice at times, but it's for the majority not what any of us want to be doing.
It does suck though, because we are seeing our country fall apart. But
Yeah.
also relatively, it's always like the two-sided things. Is we're seeing fucking inflation happen right before our eyes. Everything's getting more expensive. Wages aren't really going up. But then
but it's a joke.
Yeah, but on the opposite end, you look at countries that we've personally destroyed or other countries have destroyed due to war and resources. And think about how those people have to live.
Yeah.
I was told, I mean, you could fact check this. I'm not 100% on this, so I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but I was told that there are still people living in, like, surrounding areas of, like, Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Like, where the radiation hit.
I mean,
And, like, a lot of them don't have running water.
Here, my thought process on that is,
Or
is
electricity.
like, I can't prove or disprove the fact that there's people that live around that. But what I can say is like the fact that it was news that Russia was trying to take over Chernobyl means that there's people that got to take it from. You know what I mean? Like, context clues tell me that there's probably some people there. Context clues tell me there's probably some people everywhere, even in like the deepest of forests and shit like that. Like,
But what I'm saying is, not like, so there's people still living in that area with no water and electricity. There's people in Colombia right now, like in the super poor areas,
yeah.
with no water or no electricity.
I mean,
Well, I mean, like, yeah, like you're taking baths outside, and like you're using candles and shit.
I mean, relatively, to give you like a little bit of perspective, like, not gonna condone anything that Cuba's ever done, but relatively, all we use them as is a prison colony, right? Isn't Guantanamo Bay in Cuba? Or am I tripping?
Fact check that right now.
I'm pretty sure it's in Cuba, but like, the same thing with kind of like Australia. Like, Australia is not talked about nearly enough, but like relatively. I don't know.
Cuba.
I don't know about you, but I don't remember reading in my history books that Australia used to be a prison colony.
It was though.
It was though.
Yeah.
It's not widely talked about. It's not spread news. It's not something that is taught to children because it doesn't matter. It doesn't paint America as a winner. You know what I mean? It's like we only ever were taught in schooling, as far as history goes, the things that America was involved in.
Yeah. No.
Minus the like fucking, what was the war? The War of 1812. That was like Spain and France and shit like that, right?
Yeah. There was the 1812. I just remember. The only reason I really remember that is because of the 1812 overture. I had to play that, but
That's hilarious.
good song. Yeah, for sure. But no. To finish my point, it's just we do have it really good. I mean, for the most part, even in the poor parts of America, it's bad though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the communities are definitely rough, and it's
everyone faces their own set of problems. Yeah,
but relatively, it's better than most parts.
Yeah.
But like that could be gone fast. That could be gone so fast.
I think it's not discussed enough, like, because like people will talk about. I guess like more recently, mental health has been like a discussion, but like it seems like there's like an incentive to giving a fuck about mental health. Like, companies will like go on whole ad campaigns of just to represent that they care about mental health, but it's like not knowing exactly what type of like poverty the rest of the world is in, and what that can do to your mental, and what that can do to your actions, and how you might be seen by it's like there's so many people that are willing to say I care about mental health, but still might look at a Mexican person and ask them if they have their papers and shit like that, because like relatively it's easy to care about what people want you to care about, but it's not easy to give a fuck about the things that are misrepresented.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's just like we live in a place where we strive for better opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who just wish they had the opportunity to live, just like to have food
Yeah.
and water and a decent shelter, just period, just to have any of those things.
I think what's sad is that like the place that we all know that could be better is seen as potentially one of the best places on earth, just because of the land of opportunity aspect. Even though there's multiple different accounts for like immigration shit that shouldn't be existing, like the kids in cages and shit like that. We talked about that before, but like as far as I'm concerned, a life is a life. I don't really care where you were born. I do kind of want you to continue living. You just unplug your laptop though.
Oh, sick.
But like relatively, like your nationality to me matters less than whether or not you are alive or dead, have an opinion or not, have the ability to speak and eat and live and drink water and all the things that a person should be able to do.
I just think it's so shit that like the whole world right now is just turned over. Like, it's not really. There's definitely, I know a few countries out there that are getting like honestly on the better side of living. You know what I mean? They take care of their citizens. They're usually smaller countries.
Has to do with population, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like you see good examples of what you can do in small situations, and small like chains can lead to bigger reactions.
But it just overall, man, the world is in a shithole.
Yeah, as of now.
Like it almost like I feel like majority of the world is living in a hell. You know, we're all having to watch it unfold before us as well. Like, in a sense, just oh fuck.
What?
There's a city that just became the first Ukrainian city to be overtaken by Russian forces.
Dope. Not dope, but
It's not, bro. This is rough. I mean, I think they're just defending.
Kherson has fallen to the Russian military,
Yeah.
becoming the first major Ukrainian city to
See,
come under Russian control.
And we don't
since
even know what the full
invasion last
strategy
week.
of this is. You
The
know?
mayor told me he met today with a Russian commander who plans to set up a military administration. Dope. Dope, 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 dope. It's real, guys. It's definitely getting real. I mean,
Yeah.
it has already been getting real.
I mean, it's
but
just to say too. I mean, we don't know if China's gonna get involved. They said they don't want to. They have ties within Moscow, but the thing is also they have like foreign policy right now to stay neutral. I mean, to do with because to do with their economy and resources. You know, a big portion of the Western civilization is also a big portion of their income as well. You know, and then India's I think is supposedly in talks of backing China if it did come down to.
I think what you have to pay attention to going forward is going to be, I feel like if you're paying attention to the profits of these countries and these moves, then you might be able to navigate what's about to happen. Unfortunately, you might be able to follow the money and find out exactly what's going to happen.
I honestly don't think a World War III would happen though.
I think it would
Relatively?
take a couple more steps, like relatively. Whenever you think about World War I, it was an assassination. Whenever you think about World War II, it was I forgot what the catalyst of World War II was. Or was that World War II? That was an
Was it
assassination.
for us to get in? I know for us it was the bombing of.
Fucking Hawaii.
Yeah.
What's it called? What's it called in Hawaii? Shit.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. There you go. Yeah, so that was our catalyst for World
Our
War II.
catalyst.
The catalyst for World War I though, that wasn't ours. It was the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, right?
I'm not a history.
I'm pretty
buff.
sure it was. I said I'm not a history major.
I'm not a
Fuck
history
off.
buff
You knew
at
the
all.
fucking Pearl Harbor thing though.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I forgot.
Yeah, that's only because I played music on the Pearl Harbor.
All right,
one of
this
the
guy
ships.
is just all his historical knowledge has to relations with his band shit.
It's my music. Fucking music is my shit. Fuck me, right?
Fuck you, right? Yeah. Nah. But what I'm saying is I think something a lot more drastic than either one of those two things. And honestly, the Pearl Harbor bombing was pretty fucking drastic. I think it would have to be something probably on that level, if not worse, for
But
us
that's
to
what
get
I'm-
involved.
That's what I'm saying though. It's
But
like for it to be close to home is not that far fetched to be like, oh, we're good, but like keeping an eye on it, in my opinion, is definitely something worth keeping an eye on because it's just. I think where I'm getting at is just that when it comes to perspectives and like figuring out what's going on, it's hard to really tell where things are going or what's happening because you can't really trust everything you see.
Someone
which
said if their
is
projected
trash.
timeline is to conquer the country within 15 days, I'd say they might be pretty on track for that.
Someone said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, who was that someone though?
My homie.
Well, I mean, if they do take over the country, it's really depends on what the rest of the world decides to do. Do we allow it? You know, Like,
That's the thing.
Does,
Is
does NATO allow it?
I feel like at that level, it's more of like what's it called?
Or do you think it's just strategic? Like they're like, okay, let them take this city for right now.
But I think that at that level, you have to really weigh the not the possibility, the probability of the worst of two evils type of indication. Say, like, is it worse for them to take this over and us to set an example that anyone can just invade a country and take over a country and just have no repercussions whatsoever
China
other than
did that
trade?
to Hong Kong just recently.
But
and
Hong Kong was a city? Is it a country or a city? But I'm not dismissing what happened there. I'm not sure. What I'm saying is that might have been a catalyst for this to happen. What I'm saying is because nothing happened there, maybe Russia was like, oh, we can just take over countries now? Bet, done. And taking over Ukraine. And then if that is gone unscathed, then what does that lead to? You know, on the domino effect type of thought process, what could you get towards if you allow something like that? Is it worse to stop him from doing that and cause maybe a world war, or is it worse to allow it and cause a multitude of possibilities going forward?
So it's considered a region. It's a special region within Hong Kong or within China, I believe, or maybe now. But I think so. Basically, I think what it was a separate. It was like part of China, but it wasn't.
Okay.
And it had it wasn't a communistic country. It was like capitalistic and it mixed with coexistence of socialism and capitalism under one country.
Maybe kind of sort of the
But
idea of like
China kind of changed all that though and basically took over.
I mean, the only way I could think about that is like a comparison is to say, like, if Texas was to secede from the USA, they'd still be connected to the states. But if they were their own thing and declared them to be their own thing, and then the U.S. was to forcibly take over their state and reseed them back, I forgot the word.
Yeah.
Annex them back into the states.
Yeah, it kind of was like that.
Then that would be the same situation.
But then they're also talking about taking over Taiwan.
Okay. Dope.
That's in talks as well. So I mean, there's a lot of I think it all depends on moves right now and what the countries are deciding on doing.
I mean, it's difficult because it's just like you have to rely on all of these outlets of media to give you information about shit that they probably don't even know about, but would sell newspapers, and you have an understanding that their only job is to sell newspapers, not spread news. So it's like, fuck.
I mean, it's easy to say Ukraine's doing great if it makes everyone feel at ease and feel better.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll also, like, that's what I'm saying, is like you're seeing more videos of this guy took out Russian pilots and this guy was on the ground, took out 30 Russian soldiers, and da-da-da. It's like you're hearing all these, like, success stories of Ukrainian troops, but you're not hearing anything about the detrimental tragedies that Ukraine's actually facing right now. You're hearing about it, but you're not seeing it like you're seeing these other, like, heroic stories, because heroic stories sell newspapers. And you know what people don't want to read about? Mutilated bodies. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's fucking tough because you want to be able to understand what's going on in the world, but you have no ability to trust any media source because there's at least 9 other media sources negating anything either one of them say.
Yeah, they're all gonna have a different outlook or
and a different opinion, a different
perspective on it,
a different fact to throw at you that probably isn't, might not be, but there's no way of knowing.
It's just like the fact that there was a peace talk going on between countries, and then Russia was still bombing Ukraine during the peace talks.
Dope.
I just think personally, you should be grateful for the life you have. Don't take things for granted, because I don't want to like turn this into a message like, hey, this is happening in another country, but it's not that far from home. I mean, it's far from home until it's not,
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like those situations. Remain vigilant, remain hopeful. You know what I mean? Hopefully, good will, win.
Yeah.
Heroes will take victory, but
I mean,
It's not
I
always
just
the
feel
case.
like if there is gonna be a World War III, then like, not to be like super joking, 'cause I'm like only half joking. Ryan, it's okay, buddy. Your mama's about to take care of you. Go to your mama. Go to your mama. She's taking you outside. Go to your mama. Not to. I'm only half joking, but like, how far away from World War III is people having superpowers? Is like a technology meets biology meets like, and there's actual like Captain America superhuman soldiers out there and fucking.
just beating ass.
You already see people on TikTok and shit that build it like through tech, build their own like Iron Man suits that are actually like.
That's true. It's just like if he gets Ukraine, you think he'll stop there? You think
No.
he'll continue to push westward?
I mean, whichever way. I mean, relatively, it doesn't matter because at that point, if you take one country that's like is fucking what's it called? God damn it, prominent as Ukraine is, like relatively, because we like I told you, like they're like in the top 10 of like most of the world's resources that are important for like down the line type shit. So like, if you're able to take something like that and just have no repercussions whatsoever, other than some trade shit that you already don't care about because you're already letting your people suffer and not giving a shit about that. I mean, relatively, you have no reason not to keep going. If you don't care about the soldiers that are dying fighting for this, and you don't care about the people that are dying from you having a lack of resources from the repercussions of what you're doing, then of course you're going to continue doing what you're doing. But that's psychopath behavior.
Sometimes the shitty people end up in power, bro.
I mean, sometimes. I mean, I just think it's like power, absolute power absolutely corrupts, and it's true across the board. I can't say that people are born evil, but I can say that evil does live in people's hearts, and it shows its light of day once power is given.
Man, it's definitely
It's definitely tragic.
it's trying times for sure.
It's
for the
definitely
whole
trying
world
times,
right now,
yeah.
having to watch shit like this happen.
It's
Not having to. I mean, we're not seeing it firsthand right now, but you can only feel at this point what they're going through and just like what could potentially happen, as well.
I don't like to think about it this way, but World War I was in what 1920, 1930, 1941? No,
Nah, dude, I think that
it
was
was
more so.
1841.
Because I think World War II was like 1940s. Yeah.
Yeah. So when was World War I?
1914.
Okay, so yeah,
like long overdue type shit.
not overdue, but what I'm saying is it's kind of sad to think that we barely made it 100 years from the first World War, and not even 100 years from the last one. And it's just like, I'm not saying it's overdue. What I'm saying is it's on that level, on that trajectory. Fucking, we're gonna be in World War 10 in what, like 2150? You know what I mean? Like,
It's always over land and resources, bro. Like,
and relatively, we're all disrespecting land and resources the same way. It's like, hey, I want your land and resources so that I can also utilize and disrespect the fuck out of it and not use it properly or
Right.
respectfully. Fuck the world, but let us fuck the world. We don't want you fucking the world while we're fucking the world. We want to fuck the world ourselves.
it's not like, what are you gonna say?
Fuck
It's
off.
for our people. Like,
You don't give a fuck about your people. You're sending them to another place to go take stuff with a gun, acting like that's right. Just because you for 10 years disrespected your shit, filled the oceans with trash, and threw all kinds of fucking shit into space and forgot about it, and now our world's fucking covered with space junk. But hey, we're living great.
Fuck.
Best place on earth.
Which
It's
one?
the land of opportunity.
They were talking about that, so I was
The
like,
land of the free and the home of the
Hey.
brave.
Well, like I said, man, show people some love. The world's a dark place.
You can only have so much impact, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have it. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean you shouldn't go after what you believe in and do what you think you can for those around you.
Exactly. Do what you can. Do your best. make a difference if you can, and it starts like just by being a little bit more caring or a little bit more loving, man. A lot of people going through tough times.
Compassion.
Yeah, we just got out of
Understanding.
knowledge, bro. We just gotta have a pandemic, and now we're fucking war. It's gonna be it's a rough decade. We're not starting off strong. Not starting off strong. I'll say that. Shit.
We're literally, you've seen it already, but I gotta say it. We're literally living through a future history book right now. There's a textbook being written currently about what is happening right now. And it's difficult because we all just get to sit back and watch.
As all do. Well, that was fun while it lasted. We'll wrap it up there. I think
We'll wrap it up nice and bleak.
this one was a little sad, so fuck. Yeah, once again, show some love out there. Thank y'all for tuning in, as always. I know this one was a little bit more sad.
Thank you for watching Fine and Dandy, and as I said earlier, things are not fine and dandy.
Oh, my God. They are.
Keep it cool and keep it cordial. But just know, and by the end of the year, you might have an AR in your hands, dog.
Fuck, dude. This guy is fucking Jesus Christ. Okay, this guy's not optimistic, so.
Optimistically speaking.
Hey, we don't know what's going to happen.
Shit going down.
Oh, fuck. All right, y'all stay blessed out there. Have a good one. Catch y'all next week.